Hello everybody and welcome to another Brother Crypt video. Today I wanted to continue with my Dissecting series. I wanted to talk about Ethereum, as you could see today. The reason I decided to create these Dissecting series is because I wanted to know more about each cryptocurrency, especially some of the top major coins. And the reason that I've started this channel is to document my journey through cryptocurrency, but I also think it's important for me to be able to do my research so I have a fundamental understanding about the history and then the price and also about the technology of each coin. So if we go to my channel, we can see here that about a month ago I created a What is Bitcoin Dissecting series, and in the process of doing this I found it really helpful, and I'm surprised it doesn't have any more views, but that's really fine with me. I really found it helpful for me to understand about some of the fundamental and technological aspects of Bitcoin. So using that template and using that momentum, I'm going to continue with Ethereum today. So I hope that you like this video. If you think that it's going to be of interest to you, please do like it, please do share it, and yeah, if there's any questions, do leave a comment. So before we get into that, let's just have a look at the market. Today is the last day of July. It is the 31st of July here, and the time is 2:30 London time, UK time. Let's just refresh this coin market cap, and we can see that we have a market capitalization of 279 billion. It looks like we've lost about 10 or perhaps around 10, 15, maybe 20 billion over the last day or two. However, it looks like Bitcoin dominance is increasing. We can see just by looking at the market right now, everything is red. It looks like money has come out of the market, which is, it's a little bit sad, but at the same time, it's a great opportunity. For those that have wanted to get into cryptocurrency over the last week or two, now would be a good time to buy coins, especially if you're in the accumulation phase. For those that are holding, waiting to take profit, it's a little bit of a shame. Okay, now we can also see that we have 1,707 cryptocurrencies listed. This has increased since my last video, which was about a week ago, where we had around about 1,690. So it looks like more cryptos are coming into the market, which is a good thing. Finally, one other thing is I'm currently doing a giveaway because I've reached 300 subscribers. So if anybody is interested in the giveaway details, please do watch this video, follow the instructions, and yeah, you can, enter your application. Right, okay, without further ado, let me get into it today. So, welcome to the Dissecting series. In this Dissecting series, I'm going to, have a particular format where I go over the price history. I'm going to go over the technology, I'm going to go over the value, and I'm going to go into the vision for the cryptocurrency. And also I'm going to discuss the cryptocurrency's potential, and then I'll end with my own conclusions. So let's get into it with price history. Right, so currently today, one Ether is valued at around $460. In my opinion, I think the price is undervalued, as with most cryptocurrencies at the moment. In the last 8 months, we've really been in a bear market, and I do think the prices of cryptocurrencies relative to where we are last year has marginally increased, but I still do think it is undervalued. Ethereum, saw its all-time high at $1,389, back in the 15th of January 2017. Actually, it was 2018. Sorry, it was this year. In my opinion, I think around $800 is a fair price for Ethereum, even in the bull market. So, with the price being around $460 right now in this bear market, I do believe it is undervalued. Now, the Ethereum white paper was written by Vitalik Buterin in the late 2013 at the very young age of 19. Ethereum later started its development in early 2014 with its ICO held between July and August 2014. Ethereum raised under 19 million for their ICO, and the ICO price of Ethereum was around 30 cents, and 19 million was raised over two phases, 1 year apart. In the initial ICO, one Bitcoin would have got you around 2,000 Ether, and the Bitcoin price then during the ICO was around 600 to 800 within the period of July and August 2013. A second phase of Ethereum tokens was later sold in 2015, around the time a stable testnet was complete. The Ethereum project was created and went live with the Ethereum Genesis block in July 2015. A Genesis block is the first block in its blockchain. It's a proof of concept testnet officially released, was called Olympic on the 9th of May 2015. Ethereum was later listed on CoinMarketCap on the 8th of August 2015 with a price of $1.33 and a market capital of 80 million. Later in 2015, third-party developers started to build decentralized applications. So, between the course of a year, between 2014 and 2015, from the ICO up until a usable testnet that was called Olympic, the token 4x'd. So that was a really great return in about a space of the year to get a 4x. Now, a decentralized autonomous organization called the DAO raised 180 million in April 2016 during its crowd sale conducted on the Ethereum network. In June 2016, the DAO was hacked with 50 million in Ether stolen, and that was stolen, by a hacker, by an anonymous entity who hasn't been caught to this day. The attacker was able to collect Ether many times over in a single transaction. The Ethereum network forked as a result of this and split into two, which was called Ethereum, and then it was also Ethereum Classic. Ethereum forked two more times later in 2016. The price fluctuations took place around the time surrounding the rise and fall of the DAO as Ether rose to an all-time high of $21.19 in mid-June, and then proceeded to tank after the DAO, falling by more than 50% within 48 hours to $10.87. The minority saw that the DAO fork as an existential crisis for Ethereum. Many expected that Ethereum Classic would be a symbolic gesture with no real value behind it, since 90% of the hash power had left with Ethereum, with Vitalik's Ethereum core. Yet the price of Ethereum Classic climbed to about $20 by mid-2017 and peaked at just over $45. 2017 saw the year of the ICO. The price of Ether proceeded to climb as people bought Ether in order to purchase the latest token. Major exchanges began listing Ether as more organizations dedicated to the advancement of Ethereum and the develops of decentralized application, dApps, formed. The price of Ether climbed to $250 for the basic attention ICO in June 2017. By the 10th of January 2018, Ethereum hit a fresh high record and was up by over 13,000% in the year, with its all-time high of $1,389. Okay, so that really concludes, some of the price history broadly covering Ethereum. What I wanted to get into now, is the technology. So let's just get into the technology. So until relatively recently, building blockchain applications required a complex background in coding and cartography, but times had changed. Previously unimaginable applications from electronic voting and digitally recorded property assets to regulatory compliance and trading are now developed and deployed faster than ever before. By providing with developers with the tools to build decentralized applications, Ethereum has made all of this possible. For beginners, Ethereum is an open source platform based on blockchain technology that enables developers to build and deploy decentralized applications. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum is a distributed public blockchain. Although there are some significant technical differences between the two, the most important distinction to note is that Bitcoin and Ethereum differ substantially in purpose and capability. Bitcoin offers one particular application of blockchain, a peer-to-peer electronic store, a peer-to-peer electronic cash, or a store of value that enables online Bitcoin payments. The Ethereum blockchain focuses on running the programming code of decentralized applications. In the Ethereum blockchain, instead of mining for Bitcoin, miners work to earn Ether, the crypto token that fuels the network. Ether is used by application developers to pay for transactions and services on the Ethereum network. Another component Ethereum adds are smart contracts, basically computer codes that can facilitate the exchange of money, content, property shares, or anything of value when running on the blockchain. A smart contract becomes a self-operating a smart contract becomes like a self-operating computer program that automatically execute when specific conditions are met. Because smart contracts run on blockchain, they run exactly as programmed without the possibility of censorship, downtime, fraud, or third-party interference. However, it could be said that a smart contract contains inherent risks related to how well they are programmed. Ethereum's core innovation, the Ethereum Virtual Machine, EMV, is a complete software that runs on the Ethereum network. It enables anyone to run any program, regardless of the programming language, given enough time and memory. The Ethereum Virtual Machine makes the process of creating blockchain applications much easier and efficient than ever before. Instead of having to build an entirely original blockchain for each new application, Ethereum enables the development of potentially thousands of different applications all on one platform. What are the benefits of Ethereum decentralized platform? That's just a question I wanted to ask. What are the benefits of an Ethereum decentralized platform? Because decentralized applications run on the blockchain, they benefit from all of the following. Immutability. A third party cannot make any changes to data. Corruption and tamper-proof. Apps are based on a network formed around the principle of consensus, making censorship impossible. Although proof of weak hands, P3D, and FOMO 3D are deemed as scam contracts by some, they can't easily be taken down. Another aspect, another benefit of the Ethereum decentralized platform is security. With no central point of failure and secured using cartography, applications are protected against hacking attacks and fraudulent activities. So they say. However, there has been hacks, or applications have been hacked on the Ethereum network. And finally, another benefit of the Ethereum decentralized platform is zero downtime. Apps never go down and can never be shut off. So in short, Ethereum wants to be a world computer that would decentralize, democratize the existing client-server model. With Ethereum, servers or clouds are replaced by thousands of nodes run by volunteers from around the globe. The vision is that Ethereum would enable the same functionality to people anywhere around the world, enabling them to compete to offer services on top of its infrastructure. In a typical app store, you'll see a variety of banking to fitness to messaging apps. These apps rely on the company or another third-party service to store your credit card information, purchasing history, and other personal data somewhere, generally in servers controlled by third parties. Your choice of app is, of course, also governed by third parties such as Apple or Google, who maintain and create their platforms, or in some cases, they censor their platforms, the specific apps that you're able to download. If all goes according to plan, Ethereum would return control of its data in these types of services to its owners and to creative rights to its author. The idea is that one entity will no longer have control over your data, and that no one could suddenly ban any application itself. Only the user can make changes, not any other entity. So, that's covered the section about the technology. The next part that I wanted to cover right now, that I'll get into, is the value. So, in my opinion, I see Ethereum currently as the backbone of the cryptocurrency market. No other blockchain has been used to create decentralized applications and host fundraising in the form of ICOs. So Ethereum, has a whopping 161 assets created or fundraised on the Ethereum blockchain. As at the time of recording, this, CoinMarketCap lists 1,707 cryptocurrencies. It could be said that Ethereum is involved in 56% of these currencies. Is actually 56% of all listed cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap. Even competing blockchains use Ethereum as their ICO fundraising. Notably EOS, which raised over 4 billion in its year-long ICO, that was raised on the Ethereum network. So even though EOS is a competing blockchain, it has its ERC20 token. And I think that number is very significant. 56% of all listed cryptocurrencies have been created or have used Ethereum for fundraising. So that really, to me, shows that Ethereum can be perceived as the backbone of the cryptocurrency market right now. So that's the quick end of the value section. The other section I really wanted to go into is the vision. So let's proceed. At Ethereum's flagship DEF CON conference, Vitalik Buterin, revealed he's working on a long-term plan which contains the following: sharding, a way of partitioning data into subsets that takes its inspiration from traditional databases. The idea is that each node will only have to store a small chunk of the total network, yet the vision is that the underlying math would hold the system accountable, and if they need it, nodes could rely on other nodes for data. But Buterin is proposing a new type of sharding infrastructure that would solve both scalability and governance, ensuring the eventual system is well maintained and that it stays in check. Currently, Ethereum operates as a proof of work consensus mechanism. There are at least two other protocol updates planned on Ethereum in the future. One is called, Metropolis Part 2, Constantinople, and the other one is called Serenity, which aims to lay the transition to proof of stake. And this is also intertwined with Casper. Casper is the proof of stake flavor with the ability to punish all sort of malicious elements. Basically, proof of work is required to define expensive computer calculations, also called mining. Proof of stake, however, the creator of a new block is chosen in a deterministic way. Serenity is the last phase that has one key principle: to switch the Ethereum network from proof of work to proof of stake, essentially reducing the power consumption on the Ethereum network. When these implementations are going to take place, with timelines and what the condition is unknown. So really that concludes it for the vision of Ethereum. Ethereum does have lots of two major releases, which the release dates haven't yet been known. It's Metropolis Part 2 and then also Serenity as well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to share specific timeline dates, but we can expect them anywhere between now to perhaps the end of next year, 2019. And really that just shows that Ethereum, whilst it's responsible for 56% of cryptocurrencies in some way, it really still is in its initial early stages. Okay, so the next part that I wanted to cover is the potential. We've almost finished. I think we're about halfway through, and then I'll get into the conclusion. So, some say that Ethereum has a potential to reach $10,000 someday. And in my opinion, I totally agree. Ether holds extreme value in the potential it has to revolutionize the investment world. Ethereum has also been quietly racking up its arsenal in its ability to revolutionize the financial industry, and we're only recently now starting to see its potential. Additionally, Ether can reach $10,000 because of its efforts to adapt cryptocurrency and blockchain technology to modern society. The Ethereum Foundation has a team of dedicated individuals to its adoption and public integration, which is really what can help to drive its integration and therefore its price. Ether has more tweaks and knobs to it than Bitcoin, so why shouldn't it reach Bitcoin's attained price? The Ether market continues to grow exponentially each quarter and has no signs of slowing down. Conclusively, Ethereum has more tools and abilities than most cryptocurrencies for programmers to implement in their creation. The new generations of programmers are going to need easy access for platforms like Ethereum, as they can't go through waves of verifications just to implement a payment system. Most country regulations make this process very difficult for startups or new developers. Ether allows this to be completely effortless. With this in mind, the value of Ether has potential to reach milestones we may have never thought possible. So one of the questions I wanted to ask is, does Ethereum have the potential to overtake Bitcoin? In doing this research, I honestly think so. Um, I honestly think so, and think it has, you know, and think it is the only crypto apart from EOS which could do so. Although EOS is, a long time away from that. The feeling that I have about EOS is that EOS is just going to be like Ethereum, but on a whole bigger magnitude if we give it at least another 2 to 3 years. Also, Ripple is a close contender based on current market value, but as I stated earlier, almost 60% of listed cryptocurrencies use or are dependent on Ethereum. Ethereum is already being tested by banks via Microsoft and have produced a return of more than 10,000% for investors since its launch on the 30th of July 2015. It will, like Bitcoin, bank the unbanked, the which is the majority of the world, giving them unheard of access to the world economy. Check out the BAB cryptocurrency. BAB stands for Bank Account Based Blockchain, and it's a cryptocurrency, and I've actually created a video on BAB. That's a very interesting project, that's working towards banking the unbanked, and coincidentally, that's also an Ethereum, and I believe that you do have a plethora of applications and projects and other cryptocurrencies that are working towards banking the unbanked, and they all use Ethereum as well. Other reasons why I think Ethereum has the potential to overtake Bitcoin is that it will decentralize banks as well. It will decentralize the internet, and it will put an end to banking fees. It will be used in voting, property conveyancing, contracts, insurance, birth registrations, and so much more. It will link the physical world with the Internet of Things, IoT, as well. And it will be 100% transparent and incorruptible ledger of all things transacted. So, another thing that I wanted to look at before concluding quickly is the people. So, the founder, Vitalik Buterin, lives and breathes Ether. The team includes experts with postgraduate degrees from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and a number of professors, plus a number of other notable people like Gavin Wood, who wrote the Ethereum Yellow Paper. I think all that is needed is a killer app that will get mainstream and wide adoption, like a MySpace or Facebook, and lets people use blockchain and cryptocurrency with an app seamlessly. In my opinion, until other third and fourth generation blockchains make traction, this app is likely to be created on Ethereum. CryptoKitties is a mild example of an app with notoriety, which is widely known in crypto communities but not utilized by the mainstream. PrimaBlock is less than a year old but used as a pooling tools for ICOs created on Ethereum. This website has about 500,000 unique views each month. Ethereum's technology was built for developers primarily, but just like information technology, Ethereum is an enabler of business opportunities, and as many as initial support is widely driven by a community of technologists. Ethereum's impact will be multiplied once business professionals who understand the potential of decentralized applications along with processes they enable. Okay, so that's, my segment on the potential of Ethereum. I really do think that we're still in early stages of Ethereum's development in conclusion to its life cycle, and how it handles, the scaling issue. But I think once all of those have been successfully, addressed, and that Ethereum is in a sort of officially released application, that's up and running, and is used by enterprise, is used by big business, I think that Ethereum is really in a position. It's almost like it's one of the first smart contracts to market. So it's almost like it's one of the first to market. So I think that gives it lots of merit and lots of support as well. So let me just quickly conclude with you, and then we'll wrap this up. I hope this has been useful. If it has, please do like the video, please do share it. So, conclusion. Ethereum is also making its name in the established industry, with Microsoft offering Ethereum as a blockchain as a service. IBM in the game too, and MIT teams are doing active research and even proposed their own alternatives. Actually, they've actually implemented their own alternative, Lisk, which is a decentralized application platform. There is no guarantee Ethereum will be successful as Bitcoin. In the Bitcoin network, the supply is more consistent. The supply rate is more consistent due to hard-coded rules in the software. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. Investors should note that this consistency is not guaranteed in the Ethereum market either. Currently, there is no supply on Ethereum, which is, of course, for concern, in my opinion. It has been 8 years since the launch of Bitcoin, and there has been no compromise in the security of the blockchain so far. It is one of the most secure blockchain technologies out there. But even though Ethereum also uses blockchain as its underlying technology, it has faced criticism for potential security problems for several reasons. Most of the problems are based on the fact that the platform is still in its early stages and has only been available for a few years. Just like the Bitcoin's mining community, Ethereum's mining community is also criticized for being dominated by a small number of players. While 5 companies control 81% of Bitcoin's hash rate distribution, 5 companies accounted for more than 85% of Ether's hash rate distribution. As per critics, Ethereum may face greater security problems than Bitcoin, as the network has suffered fewer attacks than Bitcoin, and as a result, it has undergone less testing. Ethereum is clearly a far better choice than other cryptocurrencies in the market. It has an amazing development team behind it. There are many cool dApps running on it, and which are coming. So thank you all for watching this dissecting video. I've sort of finished everything now. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. And yeah, if you've got any comments, just leave them in the comments. And please share and like this video and pass it on to others. So thanks for watching another Brother Crypt video. Signing out. Take care. Peace.